right, so the market's been extremely volatile over the past couple weeks, and it might be time to rebalance your portfolio. So I just wanted to go through an August 2024 update because this is the most the algorithms move since I launched the app in December of 2022. So there's a few updates with this edition. There was a new release a week ago to make sure everyone could rebalance their portfolio in this volatile time. This is what you should check. I'm always trying to give you the best risk adjusted return, like how to make the most amount of money with the least amount of risk. So there's a few updates here to hopefully, take care of everyone's concerns. I'm pretty sure I checked every box. There's going to be a new tip. Basically, it's going to say what month the app you have. Basically, you always want to update it to the most recent edition. Basically, I'm going to try to get these out within the first week of every month now. And, just give you that peace of mind if you really think you need to rebalance your portfolio. But yeah, this month, market jumped around a whole bunch, so always make sure you have the newest update, and you can just click the X to get rid of that. And I put a new button here. This will take you right to the App Store so you can download the update right away. The whole idea of this app is to turn everyone into an investor in the easiest way possible. The foundation of my advice here is put the circle in the circle hole, put the square in the square hole. I know there's a whole bunch of numbers and letters everywhere, and you're like, what do I do? Watch a few videos and hopefully you'll figure it out. Basically, I'm always just trying to make your life easier. Now, I did add this other new little thing. If you're ever wondering why the app didn't spit out a recommendation or anything, basically you just weren't using it properly. If you see any red, the app probably won't work. So if I click InvestCan right now to build a portfolio, I don't have money. How am I supposed to spread around nothing, right? So you have to put in how much money you have. Now I'm going to put an asterisk on if there's any red, it won't work. Basically, let's just type in a whole bunch of ones here. I don't need your current age, retirement, or life expectancy if you don't want to turn your money into a pension. So these buttons at the top here are basically more for the DIY investor. I always will recommend you should turn your money into a pension. Why? It's just safer. It's just better in my opinion. I'm always using math. Basically, so your 90-10 portfolio, you don't need your age, retirement, and life expectancy because we're not turning your money into a pension. Basically, it's going to give you the recommendation here. And if you can note it, I don't know if anyone noticed, Canada was a little attractive last month. So was India. I've always been preaching, just diversify. Just stay diversified. I don't know if Japan's going to lose next month as well. I don't know if the Nasdaq's going to crash in the next week. Basically, we just set all our money and spread it around so we have a bunch of uncorrelated bets. That's how you get the best risk-adjusted return. So basically, you can click the 60-40 here, build you a 60-40 with that amount of money. If you want just a one-fits-all, XBAL, just buy XBAL. That will be the financial advisor. When you're 25-75, this is your Benjamin Graham button. When you're 80, 85, just do that, 25-75. You probably shouldn't have more than 75% of your money in bonds because you're going to run into a credit risk. Basically, inflation and interest rates can jump around and really affect your portfolio. All right, now also how things are a little bit the same but a little bit different. Basically, these are on the left now are buttons. They're going to pull out a drop-down menu and give you top to bottom. So the top one's your best 15-year number. The next one, your best 10. The next one, the best 5. The next one, your best 3. Now, basically, why this one is in black and white, this is your best risk-adjusted return. I'd rather you buy this one. Basically, if you're not buying the best 15-year, 10-year, 5-year, 3-year, or the best risk-adjusted return, what are you buying? Why don't you just want to own the best? And also, it's going to help you, rebalance your portfolio a little easier. So while you're rebalancing, so from here on out, this is always just going to recommend the MGN portfolio. I always want people who are following the MGN strategy to make their lives easier. That's just how it works. That's the whole beauty of the app. but it's also designed for that DIY investor who really wants to time the market. Now, if you don't have a zero in here, if you're using the app for the first time, like, yeah, it's not going to work. I need that. We're missing an input. So always, maybe just as a habit, just always put in your age. I always want you to kind of treat your money like a pension. Like, that's the whole idea of it, is just follow the strategy. Why? Because when there's a lot of volatility, it's going to give you a better recommendation of how to rebalance your money. Like, the closer you are, the safer it's going to be. So let's say for some odd reason you had $10,000 in every asset class. Basically, you went through all your accounts, you found out where each of your investments, what asset class it belongs to, and it just happened to be $10,000 all across the board. So let's say you're a 60-40, it's going to give you the recommendation of what to do with your money. Like, basically, you might want to buy the dip on American, and you might want to buy the dip on US sector, maybe Japan as well. Maybe you want to sell a bit of your Canadian and you're probably too heavily invested in bonds. Like, you should probably get rid of your government bonds. And let's say this person has to withdraw 10 grand out of their account. Where do I take that money from? Like, you want to take it from the account that needs to be rebalanced the most. So you probably want to take a lot of it out of your government bonds, and you probably want to take the rest out of cash. Like, this is great advice, especially now, because, yes, stocks just had a little dip here. You should probably sell out of these and rebalance your money. Like, it's going to help you pull your bonds to your stocks when your stocks crash, and vice versa. Like, basically, you should probably be proactive instead of reactive, and you're not going to feel as bad about your investments. Like, Japan, India, the NASDAQ, they all shot up over the last year and a half. If you, at one point, didn't think you made too much money, you're crazy. Like, you sell out of it a little bit, or you probably should have been dollar cost averaging in, Canada. So hopefully you like these updates. Let me know if you can think of any other way to make these apps easier, and always just click the MGM button to do your research. Basically, these always have the best risk-adjusted returns. I would rather you own these than any other ETFs. Now, one other last update that I did, when you click these, it's actually going to open the internet within the app. Basically, this one is still showing Yahoo Finance. For some reason, the stocks with the .NE, I can't find them in Google. But basically, for example, now when you click ZID, it's going to open Google Finance. And why I really like this, you can basically click around pretty easily, find out how the charts have been over the time. But let's click a 5-year. You can also do a very quick comparison. You can compare with up to, I believe, 5 ETFs. Like, this is just a great little thing. Like, why do I want to own ZID? Because it beats all these 4 ETFs. Now, try to compare once in the same asset class. Google isn't good about finding that. So I really like Google's service better. Basically, it just allows you to compare a few different ETFs right on the fly. Alright, so that basically sums it up, and thanks for downloading Money Guy Now apps.